Hey, welcome to Rubicon's Basement. This is a video response from MrChewycentre. He's been doing a lot of Lizardmen battle reports, and they're really good. And you should check out his YouTube channel and subscribe and like everything, because he's a pretty cool guy. And we were talking, or he was talking in his video about stripping miniatures and what he should do and all that. If in my older posts I have these guys that I collected from the Empire, and I finally got them all. And this is one guy. This is the guy that was most heavily painted, and this is how he came out. I don't want to make this a long video, so I know that a lot of people use simple green. I use Pine Sol, and Pine Sol is a product here we have. I'm in the United States. I think MrChewycentre is in the UK. But Pine Sol comes in a bottle like this. I suppose you can buy it in different bottles, but this is the original Pine Sol. But at any rate, what you do with that, I don't dilute it or anything, but what you do is you find yourself a little container like this, and I suppose that's probably about maybe 16 ounces of liquid in here, and you plop all your miniatures down in there. And if they're really heavily coated, this Pine Sol, first of all, let me tell you, this Pine Sol works really good because I've used this, and you just leave the guy sitting here, and after one use, you don't have to throw it away or anything. You just can keep reusing it. So I have that, and you throw your minis in there. Now these are all metal, and this Pine Sol will actually even cut through any clear coating that they have on their miniatures. So what I do, and again, I haven't tried any other product except for gasoline, which I don't recommend. But what I do is I throw the miniatures in here for about a day, and after a day, I pull them out and go over to my utility sink and get some running water. And they don't come out like this, but get some running water, and I take a toothbrush. Usually start with a soft toothbrush, like this. This one is my wife's. No, I'm just kidding. This one, this is a soft bristled toothbrush, and after about a day soaking in this, I give them a quick brush, probably about a minute and a half for each miniature. It gets off, and I do that under a small stream of running water, so it can, because this stuff will foam up when you brush it on the miniature. Small stream of running water, and I have, and it just goes right down the sink. It's okay for biological reasons, and that. And then after I brush off the most, plop them back in there, let them dry, because I don't want to dilute this concentration stuff here with water. Let them dry in a paper towel, kind of like what I'm doing with this guy, and go on to the next one until you brush them all and get the most of it off. Then once they're dry in a paper towel, then throw them back in. And what I did is I waited, I believe, another day after that first brushing in this, about 24 hours, and I just brushed them the second time, and they came out like this just after the second brushing. You can see there's still little scraps of blue. And I haven't tried the harder bristled brush, but this one's a little harder, more abrasive. The bristles don't bend as much. I tried that on some of them, and it works out real well. And after the second brushing, this one gave me a little bit of problem. There's some darkness. I don't know if that's an ink wash or I don't know, but it looks like it was black at one time. Maybe that will come off. So I'm just going to soak them all one more time by this evening. All the little flakes will be off, and I'll be good to go for those. And it's real easy. Pine Sol is real inexpensive, and it smells really, really good. So when you're down in the basement working, instead of the usual bad foul smells that come from us doing our hobby between the glues and the zip kicker and stuff like that, we got some nice pine smelling basement. The other thing I wanted to mention too is this Pine Sol does work on plastic, but you have to be careful how long you let it soak for, because it will make the plastic bendy. And we did some Lizardmen, the new Lizardmen that are plastic, and those got pretty bendy. And when we're brushing them, you know, nothing came unglued, which is another great thing with this Pine Sol, is nothing comes unglued, unless when you're brushing it, you brush it in such a way that you get too aggressive and something pops off. Like this guy has his arm with his lances glued on there, but I've been brushing pretty aggressively, and that glue bond still stayed attached, so that's good. But anyways, getting back to the plastic, if you leave them in there for too long with the plastic, like I said, they get bendy. Then when you take them out, when you take them out and you rinse them in the water and brush some stuff off of them and you let them sit, they do harden back up again. And you don't lose any of the detail on plastic. At least I have never have. So you can leave them in there. I wouldn't say more than, put them in at night, wake up in the next morning, give them a brush, rinse them off, see how they're doing, and then put them back in. But they do harden back up again. Not quite as hard as they were before, but probably about 97% of the same hardness that they were before. So like I said, I put these in for about 24 hours, brushed them, took most of the stuff off, threw them back in, and for about 24 hours, and I just brushed them again, and they're about 95%, well, I would say 99% all the way done. And I'm just going to give them one more quick brush later on this evening, and that'll be it. So I've covered, you don't lose any detail. Be careful when doing plastic. The bases, you can put the bases in there. Generally, they don't come unglued from the bases. Even if you're working with plastic, I could put a whole mounted guy in there, and if he's been glued to the plastic of his mount, they'll stay glued, unless, again, you get real aggressive with your brushing and holding of the miniature to hold it hard. But again, you want to do this brush these over some running water, which I have a utility sink over here to my left. And just keep the water running over the miniature as you're brushing it, so it clears off that foam. So that's it. I hope ChewyCentre, this is helpful. Again, I haven't experimented with simple green. That seems to be very popular, but this works for me, so I have the patience to do it a couple times. And there you go. That's it from Rubicon's Basement, and we will talk to you at another time. Thanks for watching.